going on, YouTube world? That's Steve. There's Vinny. I'm Dave. This is the Instant Revolution podcast. We're in episode 119. Right away, we get smart-ass people. So I'm going to throw this out immediately. We don't do this immediately, ever. I mean, it's always 40 minutes into the fucking broadcast. Hit the like button. Hit it as many times as you can. With our deal with Carlos, Eric has to pay. And pay handsomely. The BGS monies. So hit the like button as many times. Just fucking smash your keyboard so the keys go flying, your phone, your web TV, browser, whatever you're doing right now. Hit it for Eric.
Still not enough. 12 people watching and only 3.
Come on, people. It's easy. Easy to do. Everybody can do it. All the cool kids are doing it. Right?
There you go.
And if you're not doing it, you're not cool. So, hey, you might as well do it and join the cool kids.
Yeah, that's what we strive for.
Yeah.
The cool kids. So before we go too far, Paul, we weren't two-ish this evening. We were actually here. We were chit-chatting a couple stories. But before we get too far into the show, figured I'd go ahead and do something a little different. Shut up. Stop your whining, Eric. At least say, good to see everybody. We got Paul, we got Ty, we got Baz. We got Eric, who still needs to pay more. Keep going, guys. We're at 8. There's 14 people watching. Just throwing that out there. I am paying attention. We got Paul. I already said the other Paul again.
We got 2 Pauls.
We've got
Tyrone.
The good doctor. I said Ty earlier. The good doctor has joined us with the question.
It is a Wes Unseld jersey.
Oh, and then we got this random guy of all people. Really? This guy. You got this guy to come on the show? What the hell were you thinking? No, I'm kidding. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready, man. Matt, I know you hear me. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do the introduction. I would like to introduce another OG who hasn't made videos in probably 8 years, but does a lot on Instagram.
Erased them all.
Did he really? Oh, no. See, I'm not going to bring him on. He's just going to sit there. No, I'm just kidding. But no, Matt is normally active on Instagram. He hadn't been active as much as of late, but I'm sure life gets in the way. But I would like to introduce to the show for his first appearance, Mr. HerdFan87, Matt Colley. What's
Hello,
going on, my good friend?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Doing good. It's good to see you.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yes, the YouTube was scraped once they came out with the child rating and all that stuff. I was like, let me just scrub this stuff because I'm sure there's some language that's it's not appropriate. So
that's why
start
you
with a clean slate, which hasn't
happened yet.
Yeah. Well, then
that's
I
the
moved north, so like I've got to yes.
Oh, so you've got a lot of shit going on.
It's been a busy couple years, so.
Well, regardless, it is good to see you. It is good to see you. Nicely done, Dave. Nicely done. Matt and I had multiple interactions back in the day. Care packages and such. see me. I'm one of those, and Dave, you probably are too. Hey, Big Scott. People make videos for stuff you send them. You add them to your favorites. So it's one of those. They're easily able to be located. You go hunt them up. You go find them, and you rewatch them from time to time. At least I do. Puts a smile on my face. And unfortunately, over time, I go through my favorites, and all of a sudden, it's like video no longer exists. I'm like, okay, who the fuck got rid of their damn videos? So now I know you are one of them.
Yep. It was me and Breeze No Aints were in the conversation of, hey, there's going to be a problem if they're going to start flagging videos. So we just clean slate. So
yeah, the nice thing about it is you can actually make it no, it's not okay for kids, and then it doesn't freaking matter. I know that there's also a way that you can flag it for it's safe for kids, but then you have to do like a couple extra steps to actually enable comments, and it's like, what? Because I make it safe for kids, people can't comment on my video? Huh? Like that makes no sense. But anyways, I digress. So Matt, what you been up to? So you moved up north. What else you had? What else you been doing?
New job. Well, up north is like Maryland and Pennsylvania, so it's not really that big of a trek. I need to get a hold of Purple GT, who's in my town. Since I've moved here, I haven't gotten a hold of him yet. So, like to get together with him for a little bit, and then, yeah, still collecting, still active. Speak of the devil, there he is.
Speak of Steve. You ask and you shall
Speak of the
receive.
devil, he shall appear. Steve, we're gonna get together here soon. I gotta send you a message. I was just dropping your name. But yeah, still collecting. Not everything is changing around in my collection with the card boom that took place in 2020. So just trying to collect, just not as hardcore as I was with everything. So. And hopefully winning a Super Bowl here soon.
Yeah, well, I'm rooting for. I hate to say this, I'm rooting for the NFC, only because I'm tired of Mahomes. The kid is fantastic. I can't hate the guy. The guy is phenomenal, but holy shit, I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs either in the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship game. It's time for a change. It's time for a change. And I'll leave it at that. And we'll talk more about it at some point.
I get that. And then out of
go ahead. You're good.
Yeah, just a little over the weird gimmicky offense that Kansas City comes with like the ring around the rosy huddle into the Raiders game, and then the Ted Kelsey who throws it over his head to a guy running down. That's just like, you guys are good enough. I don't know why else we need this like backyard. I mean, it's fun to watch, but just kind of over it.
Yeah, they're a little gimmicky at times, but I mean, to a degree, you have to be kind of partially torn because you got your old coach on the other sideline too. I don't know your feelings about Andy Reid, but you know, from a coach perspective, I always thought he was a damn good coach. But you know, others who are Philly true through and through may disagree in certain instances. So I don't want to speak for you on that front.
No, I think if you were to ask most Philly fans, everyone appreciated Andy for what he did. I mean, he brought the franchise back from basically death. And I think he took them as far as he was going to go. And I think a change of scenery was necessary, especially after his one kid passed away in Philly. I think he needed a fresh start, and I think it was kind of the best thing for everybody. So, but like I said, I was rooting for him in the first Super Bowl they were in. So I think everybody loves Andy in Philly. So.
Just curious because, you know, sometimes when coaches leave certain teams, sometimes there's a little bit of distaste in people's mouths to a degree, but just
no, it wasn't a Chip Kelly situation. That was the tough one. That was the one everyone's ready to get out of town. So,
Yeah, well, as a Denver fan, as everybody knows, I've had a few of those over the past few seasons. So, which I'm sure we'll touch
it'll be
on at
interesting this
some
year.
point. Yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up. Coach doesn't fully make the difference, but I at least like the fact that he kicked Team 3 out of the building, which, that was probably one of the best things he could have done because it needs to be focused on the team dynamic. Losing what's his butt, the defensive coordinator, was, in my opinion, a huge hit to the team just because of what he accomplished. So it'll be interesting to see what Denver does from a defensive coordinator perspective. But we got him for 5 years. It cost us a lot. It's going to cost us a lot. What they're estimating, like $18 million a year, which is pure fucking insanity for a coach. But he's a big name. He's gonna bring players potentially through free agency, and with the ownership team, I don't think they're afraid to spend money. So that may or may not be a good thing. We'll see.
But I think he's a guy that's going to come in and change the environment, which is kind of worth its weight in gold, especially after, from all the reports that you heard, it seemed like the locker room was kind of just going crazy against each other. And so alone it is worth the money right there.
Yeah, like I said, there's more positives than negatives right now. But I mean, let's face it, he just now got hired. There's a lot of shit that has to fall into place. I mean, personnel, free agency. It'll be interesting to see what they do in free agency this year, because we definitely need offensive line help bad. When you don't give a shitty quarterback long enough to throw the football, they're gonna suck. Let's face it. I know a lot of people put the shitty season on Russell's shoulders. Did he look like garbage in a lot of situations? Yes. Did the offense look out of sync in multiple situations? Yes. But, it wasn't all him. So offensive line had major issues. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Eric, I can't remember it's 2 E's. His first name and last name begins with an E, and for the life of me, I can't freaking remember what it is.
Evie Jero or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I was shocked he went to Carolina. I thought he was on his way to Minnesota to become the D coordinator, and to go to Carolina, I was like,
Cheers to you there, Lou Rock.
Yeah. Congrats, Lou.
Yes, congratulations. Congratulations. We got one Hall of Famer in the chat. We got one that's supposed to join the show here in a little bit. Unless that changed, Dave. We got two guys who just, I'll say just missed it. If it was the old school 10, Dave and Steve would have made it in. So just throwing that out there. Yeah, we got to roll out the red carpet. Sorry, mine's put away somewhere. Oh, that's right. I burned it.
With your 2020 Series 1 top speeds.
No, didn't burn any of that.
Well, you're in Texas, so it could have had the ash from that drop onto your rug.
91 triple play, maybe?
No, 92 first year.
91. What the fuck? What's the damn difference?
Well, one exists and one doesn't, so
it was pure garbage.
I get that, but you can't burn something that doesn't exist. Well, you can burn air, but it's got to be combustible with some certain chemicals. So
this is true. This is true. So now that so Matt, No, it wouldn't matter. You can start making videos right now, and you wouldn't be able to vote next year. Damn it! Trying to garner more votes for Dave, man. Dave, Steve.
How Dave hasn't made it, I don't know.
Paul making the comeback. Paul got, a handful of votes. It was good to see that. Not that I'm trying to go down the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame again, but Steve should have been in some time ago. Dave should have been in some time ago. And this is not a jab at anybody who has recently gotten in. Like Lou has put in the time. He does good work. Mad props. Elite Hunters, Picker Jim S, Reindeer Studios, those guys, all well deserving. And I'm not taking away from that at all. But I'm seriously hoping that with Scotty Tradition having the conversation with Jake and me mentioning it in my video and on the IRP, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get a veterans committee. I just think it would be a cool thing to get some of the older channels some, not necessarily recognition, but some visibility.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's face it, some guys stumble across us. They find us. Other times, not so much. So we just kind of get lost in the shuffle. So, like, Matt was consistent on videos for a long time. So, for those who are just joining, Matt deleted all his content because of the YouTube changes of making it, or the is it okay for kids crap. So he didn't want to avoid any issues, which I get. I understand. I mean, there's other people out there who've removed their videos. Oh, and no, I'm not upset, Paul. I am not upset. Not that he will ever see this, but a big shout out to fucking Wooju. Wooju has made a comeback. The return of Medic Mail Days. The return of Medic Mail Days.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about him in the past. You want to talk about some freaking Hall of Fame shit? No offense to anybody out there who collects baseball Hall of Fame autographs. That guy's freaking football Hall of Fame collection would put anybody to shame.
Oh my God.
Even though he had to get rid of some of it. But I hate the fact that he's getting like 4, 5, and 6 videos or views on his videos. So
yeah, you're showing stuff that there's like 2 certified autos of out there, and he's got one of them. This isn't a Mickey Mantle. This isn't a Babe Ruth. This isn't a Robinson, a Campanella. Again, great to have those. This guy's showing shit that literally nobody else has.
Yep.
It's not, hey, here's a Patrick rookie auto. Who fucking cares? Literally, who cares? There's millions.
It's the highlighted comment from Pete As.
Yeah.
That's his YouTube name. So for any of us old school guys and some of you new guys, Lou, if you go check him out and you like what you see and what he shows, freaking get him some love. Freaking get him some recognition. Get him some more views.
Send people away.
Yeah, Wooju is old school, and he disappeared for a while. But holy shit, I know he did his most recent videos. One of them is like titled Hall of Famers that like never touched a ball.
Mm-hmm.
So some of your coaches and maybe your
owners, GMs type of
some of those type of folks. And then Vinny, you're gonna want to go see this one. The most recent video is he completed the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Fame autograph run.
I saw it.
You went and watched it?
The day you said go look, I went and looked. It took me an hour and a half to find him.
Well,
I didn't know that it was 2004.
Well, you should have asked. You should have asked. Dave and I would have got you there. But yeah, I mean, it's good to see him back. No, actually, Lou, I'll go find it and I'll throw it out there. Just so everybody can just click the link for those who want to go check him out. But man, it was good to start seeing videos from him because there for a while he was doing like crane stuff for a while.
And he's
Let's
out.
see.
He's been in the. I don't remember. Like, it's not the Masons, but it's like some sort of group, the old school group. Oh,
It
you
could
want
be
to
a
say
Mason.
I don't know if it is or not. Because again, it's not a Mason, but anytime I think of the Masons, I think of the Stonecutters from The Simpsons.
Shriners.
I don't know why, but it's one of those type of groups. I don't know if they wear like the beret, but you get the cool old school like 80s
Vinny
jacket.
just said it. Shriners.
See, I don't know if it's a Shriners. Because I want to say it's like a yellow and blue, whatever that group would be. And again, I don't know, but I know he's been part of that for like ever. So I remember that from Facebook. He'd always post like, "Hey, there's a meeting or whatever," and be there. And okay, Freemason. That's what Dazzler says.
Yeah. And for anybody who cares, if you're watching this on YouTube, which you probably are, I pinned Wuju's link. So it's going to be at the very top if you want to go check it out. So, oh, Eric, if you weren't paying for the likes on here and on Carlos's show, that's pocket money. You go dig in the couch for that kind of cash. Don't lie. Matt's sitting here going, okay, I don't know half these fucking people. What the hell are they talking about?
I am, man. I'm old school. I remember all the old videos and old names in the blog TV drama. That was like my expertise.
See, we should have. If you would have been here last week, we had Foxborough Sensation 11 on here last week, talking about the old blog days, and then poor Vinny sitting there just listening.
I know Matt though from Instagram.
No, I know you know Matt from Instagram. I know that we've talked about it.
Yeah.
But I was mentioning the fact of last week, you didn't get a chance to say much because we had Foxy on.
I just let
and
you
we were
guys
just
go, man.
we were
I sit back and
reminiscing,
enjoy it.
reminiscing blog days.
I did see he was in last week.
But no, it was good to see him. I hadn't seen
Jason.
him in forever and a day. Yeah, Jason's good peeps.
He used to be
Everybody's
doing
good
like
peeps.
blaster box breaks and like hobby breaks on the one group and like disappeared. What happened to him or what he's doing now? But
He said poker again.
Yep,
Get back
doing
to
a lot of poker.
poker. Okay.
Good to see you, Lou.
I just remember
Hopefully you
his breaks with the cats all over the table and knocking stuff over and him yelling at the cat, and it was just the funniest thing in the world. But
and he'd be going to all the Targets, all the Walmarts when the Luca Prism stuff was out, and he'd go live from the car and like show you the Target bag. He's like, "I'm a degenerate." He's like, "I'll wait till I get home," and then he just starts like throwing the stuff out, ripping it in the car. Just getting pissed off. Your silver's like fucking Chris Paul. He's like, "What the fuck is this? Fuck, where's my Luca? Where's my fucking Luca?"
He'd get pissed off and he'd say, "I'm never doing this again. This is the last time ever." And then the next day he's on there with like 4 more boxes of cards. It's like, what do you? I love Jason. He cracks me up so much.
Yeah, it was good to have him on. I was happy that he accepted the old invite.
Really, Eric, you're really gonna go that route? So I was gonna say just for that, we need more thumbs up, but we're close to where we 15 viewers, 14. You know, we're already kind of there. Keep it up, Eric. Keep it up. There will be no hockey cards tonight if you keep it up, and we're gonna keep pumping that thumbs up button so you have to pay. Just saying.
Yeah, I know.
So
I sent the link out to a bunch again and try to get one guy on there, and boy, is he just dead set against coming on.
Dead set against, huh? Guess we'll have to talk later.
Well, if we're gonna have Eagles fans on, we need to have the other side, and
Oh,
we've all-
Smitty? Yes, Smitty isn't going to come out of his hole.
That was my guess.
As much as what it would be a blast to have him on, I think that ship has sailed to a degree because even when you were at the wedding, he kind of almost shied away a little bit from being on video.
I know. It was, especially again, when I brought up the national, I said, just go with Michael. Go up there and just, even if you don't fucking buy anything, see everybody from fucking old days. Meet a couple new people. Again, you don't have to sit there and make 50 videos. You don't have to, it's not going to be Care Package Central or you're ripping wax or whatever. It's just going to be something fun, deviate from the everyday grind of selling cars and having kids and jobs and fucking all that shit. It's just something different. Just change it up for a weekend.
Speaking of national, Matt, are you going to make it by chance?
Where is it this year? I've only been
Chicago.
to one, and that was in Atlantic City.
It's in Chicago this year.
Yeah, the year I moved to Baltimore, they like never came back because they said the convention center got way too pricey down there. So, no, I think I'm if it's coming to AC, I'll do that one again. But I don't even know if it's on the. I know a lot of people didn't like the AC one coming from the West Coast.
Well, because what is it? It's Chicago. Is it Cleveland next year?
I think so.
And then back to Atlantic City, I thought.
Chicago.
Or is it back to Chicago?
I don't know if they had a
Cleveland, Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know if AC is still on the radar or the schedule yet. I think this might be the. I think the last one might have been the last one they had scheduled. So.
Go ahead, Dave.
After this year's shenanigans out there, I don't think anybody wants to fucking go back. Ed had this story.
I mean, I don't even go to like the local sports card shows just because it's such a mess trying to get to look at the tables or anything. It's just like I don't even have fun going to them anymore unless I know people that are there. So it's just like sit at home and would go on eBay. I'm not going to sit there and fight in their cases and their briefcases of slabs.
Yeah, I thought I heard somebody mention grumblings or rumors that Baltimore may or may not be back on the table at some point.
There's been rumblings.
Okay, so I wasn't hearing things when, and I don't remember if it was you who happened to mention it, Vinny, but I know I'd heard it somewhere that there was the possibility and grumblings that they may sneak Baltimore back into the mix at some point.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, I know they've lost a couple things down in. They've lost a couple things down in Maryland at that convention center. Like they had a big anime Comic-Con that was down there, and that bounced. I think Ed used to go to that, Wesker Griff, and then I think they're working on rebuilding that Inner Harbor area to make it a little bit more appealing to families and whatnot. But kind of tough city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that sounds about right, Stu. That sounds about right. And the reason why I was asking Matt is because at least 3 of the 4 here will be in Chicago. It'll be my first national. It'll be Vinny's first national. It'll be Dave's first national in over 10 years.
Fifth overall? No, fourth.
Overall, yes, but like in 10 years.
Yeah. First since 11, when everybody went to Baltimore and they had the fun time out there. And then 11 was Chicago. And then it's going to be a whole new grouping of people, too. Because, again, we were the newer YouTubers. I was a year and change in. But we met everybody through blog or YouTube. And then, like I mentioned before, all the people on the forums and whatnot. You knew them from, like, the Beckett boards. You knew them from basically just Beckett at the time, Freedom Cardboard. I was on Collector Planet with a core group of the football guys I stayed with in 9 in Cleveland. But it appears we have another guest.
Yep. Everybody needs to take a step back. Prepare yourself.
Is it West Side Connection? Is it a new Hall of Fame member at all? Or because you have to, if you're West Side Connection, you have to bow down when he comes to say our tune.
So everybody
bow down
to the newest member of the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. We welcome our good friend and yours, Brad 8671 to the show.
Hey guys. Yeah, my thing got delayed for a while, so I was like, well, I'll just come on here until he decides we want to do this thing. So it's like, all right.
Well, I was beginning to wonder because Lou popped in, and of course Lou made it too. So I'm like, Lou's here. Where the hell is Brad?
Yeah, I guess it's going to be another 30, 45 minutes or something. So I said, all right, well, then I'll hop on the RRP. And then I see Herd fans here. What's up, man?
Dave's
how's it going, Brad?
Old school guys.
Good.
So now we can actually talk football. So 4 of the 5 guys on here full football. Sorry, Vinny. You do have stuff to add, though, at least. I mean, you're not fully in the dark as he freaking goes off video. If that's the case, I'm just gonna do this. You're gonna pull that shit.
Got him.
All right. I'll put you back where you belong, sir. But no, we can actually talk football. We can talk coaching changes. We can talk the impending Super Bowl. What else did you have in the notes there, Dave, as far as the video description? And now we have the infamous Door gracing us with his presence.
Just today, AJ Green retiring, which again, it probably was due after this year. And about a half hour before the show went live, I saw Derek Carr potentially to the Saints. Compensation has been hammered out. It just depends on him going there. And how that's going to happen is a fucking wizardry of fiduciary excellence, because they're fucking $60 million over the cap. How do you get a $40 million bonus onto a cap that's already $60 million in the hole? So that would be the NFL stuff, along again with the Super Bowl. But Super Bowl talk, I think we want to wait, see if another person pops in at some point and/or time.
I'll keep an eye out.
But yeah, the coaching sort of carousel, as it were.
I was getting ready to say carousel.
That because I mean, it's just like this guy's going here, that guy's going. It's just like a fucking going to the playground back in the day before parents got pissed because their kids are too stupid to hang on to the carousel. Frank Wright going to Carolina. D'Amico Ryans, not shockingly, going to Houston. I love that. And then Denver paying draft compensation and upwards of nearly $20 million for Sean Payton, which I know you said it's good for the locker room, Matt, but at the same time, I don't know if and again, it's the Walmart family, so they got enough money. They're not paying their employees, so might as well fucking pay a coach. So it. You knew that was going to probably be the stop for him because of all the pieces in place. At least offensively, you've got some weapons. You've got a proven commodity at quarterback. Like Steven mentioned, he may know a thing or two about the Broncos. So offensive line is going to be a huge rebuild process. But you can go from whatever their record was, 4-13, 5-12, something like that. So what do you go to? 8-9? I mean, you're not going to flip to 13-5 or 12-5. It's I don't, especially with no high draft picks. So you've got a second back, and I don't know if that's like next year.
Yeah, I don't even remember, honestly.
Because I don't know if it's officially been like, hey, here's the transaction, Sean Payton and a second next year for whatever it is, first next year and whatever else.
Yeah, but Denver got something too from a draft capital perspective. But like I can't remember. I read it and then honestly I since kind of forgotten about it because all I knew was the fact that we of course gave up our first round pick this year, which we just kind of got back. It's like, let's keep shifting and getting rid of first round draft picks and hope to turn a winning team or turn a team into a winning team when you have no draft capital. I mean, that makes no sense, but whatever. That's why these guys make the decisions because they've been doing it more so than I have. So hopefully they've got some ideas and plans. I don't know. We'll see.
No, so that's why I like the Houston one where, again, you've already given up multiple picks as well or no, you've got multiple picks from Cleveland. I think D'Amico, he's risen because again, he was was he in the Eagles coaching staff for a little bit before the Niners?
Right.
I believe he was.
So it's just like, okay, you've been with some teams that really focus on defense. That it's not like a passing fancy and we were 23rd this year, now we're 13th. It's like, no, we want to be in that top 15, and that's getting to the point where we don't want to be. We want to be top 10, top 7. So
that was the favorite head coaching hire, I think. Was that because it's a guy that actually wants that job.
Yes.
The owner actually wants them to have that job, which the last 2 years they just, with Colley and Lovie Smith, they were like, just caretake it for a year. We don't really want to keep you guys. Yeah, we're going to suck. We don't care. Lose. So, yeah, that was probably my favorite. Sean Payton's obviously the proven one. But, yeah, he's a guy that has to be in control, though.
Yep.
So I'm sure that's going to be a problem for about the first 6 months here. But once that gets sorted out, they'll be better for it in the long run. But, yeah, him and Russ and company are going to fight for sure. For the first few months, for sure. But he'll realize it's all for the best, and I'm sure it'll improve. Because I refuse to believe Russell Wilson forgot how to play football. You started seeing it towards the end of the year. He started to look like Russell Wilson a little bit towards the end of the year. No one cared because they were out of it, but he actually started to look like he was supposed to. So,
well, he actually got to run the offense. And I think that had a lot to do with it. Russell was given a little bit more flexibility to actually do what Russell Wilson did well in Seattle, run the offense.
Yeah, no one was more excited to see Nathaniel Hackett go to the Jets than me. I'll tell you that much right now. Because the Jets, I've said it all along, if they find a quarterback, they scare me way more than the Bills in the future. And when they hired him, I said, oh, good. Thank you, because I thought he was the worst head coaching hire last year. This guy has no business having any important job in the league. I do not.
As an offensive coordinator,
he stinks.
He wasn't horrible. I've seen worse.
No.
However, I'm going to throw the caveat here. When you have an Aaron Rodgers who pretty much runs your offense, he can make anybody look decent from an offensive coordinator perspective.
And you saw that offense, zero creativity. It's just a basic. It's like Mike McCarthy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But he brought up that was probably the best hire in general were actually the two defensive coordinators. Vic Fangio to the Dolphins and Brian Flores to Minnesota, who ran the most bland stuff, who never counteracted anything anyone did. Well, that's going to be different with Brian Flores. They're going to get after it. So it might take a year for him to get the pieces in place, but long run, that'll help the Minnesota defense. I really like that hire. He shouldn't be in charge of any team because, like most of those Patriots staffs, they don't have communication skills, so they can't deal with people. So they can't be a head coach of anything. But they're good when you give them their niche, to do. It's a great hire. So I like it.
McDaniel. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Minnesota because they're going to have to start dropping some people too. I want to say Thielen's probably going to be a casualty this year. I don't know, somebody else on defense in that line. I don't think Dalvin Tomlinson, I don't think they'll be able to re-sign him. I know we'll talk more about this as free agency creeps up because I know we'll all minimize ourselves and just put Brad on there and we'll moderate the questions. It'll be like blog TV. Then he'll be on there with like supersized. We'll just come up. I think this is a good idea, and just as we're talking, just minimize the host.
Plus, to talk about that stuff now, stuff's going to be so different in a month and a half from now that you can't even start discussing it yet. Like it's just going to be.
My only request though is, Brad, when we do that, I expect a whiteboard behind you, and I want you to we're going to add some production value to the show for once. And it's going to be with Brad and the whiteboard and talking free agency.
Who was the political guy? The Karl Rove or something that used to always bring out the whiteboard and explain the votes or something? There was always a guy that used to do that.
Yeah, since we can't have like the digital awesomeness, let's go old school whiteboard and you just draw arrows to teams and players.
What Joe? There was a Pro Bowl this week. What? Huh?
Oh gosh. I was like, it's getting bad when I don't even want to watch it. If a guy like me doesn't even want to watch it, you just need to scrap it. Now, I like the fact that they at least got rid of the game because they never played it anyways. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you find yourself, same thing with the NHL, you just don't care. It doesn't play on TV well, I feel like. It's time to just scrap it. Just announce the Pro Bowlers and move on. And it's honestly for the best because that way you don't have like guys you don't deserve to be in the Pro Bowl get Pro Bowl nods because half of them don't go. So it's for the best. We're done. Move it along. To me, my idea was each team should just have like a fan thing at their stadium that's like free to go to. And you can meet and play with the play. Maybe you can play flag football with the players or something, or something like that. Just have each team do it and then be done. Because it's for the fans anyway, right? So just do that. It doesn't need to be televised, I realize it doesn't make money.
Buy a raffle ticket. Buy like a $10 raffle ticket and your name gets drawn, you get to play with the players. And then that money goes into whatever charity or whatever bullshit you want to throw at for the team. So
that's my idea.
The NHL one was I like the skills competition, but a lot of it was, again, overproduced. I didn't need to see PK Subban like constantly in his like 70s. Fucking garbage. I just wanted, and then the one on they had a golf thing, which I'm like, this is cool, because again, golfing is hard enough. You're trying to hit a puck, and again, they've got the flat surface, like some linoleum or whatever, underneath it, and so they get the stick, and you're trying to get it to basically an island hole at whatever golf course they were at. So I'm like, that was something different. But again, you got like 20 people there, like watching. It's not like a fucking gallery at the Masters. I don't expect it to be that big, but at the same time, I mean, it's just like literally, hey, what's going on over there? There's some people, and these people just sort of walk up. It's like, I don't fucking know. Does anybody know?
Yeah, that's bad.
So who else were you waiting on?
Well, there's some Eagles fans.
Yeah, we're not going to bring that guy on. We're not going to bring that guy on. Should we bring this guy on? Should we bring this other Hall of Famer on? Anybody? Yay, nay, maybe?
Go ahead.
All right, I'll go ahead and bring him on. Our friend and yours, good old crypto grifter, to the show.
Howdy, Ed.
Yeah,
Good
what
to
up,
see-
everyone?
Good to see you, Ed. It's been a while.
It has been. It's been quite a while. I can't remember the last episode I was on.
22.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe not that long ago, but
cool.
Had to get on this one. Had to find a way to get on this episode.
well, I'm glad it worked. I'm glad it worked out. So we've got 2 Eagles fans. We know Dave tried to get a Chiefs fan. I'm not going to speak for the AFC because I already said I'm tired of Mahomes. I'm rooting for the NFC. And then of course we got Brad, the all-knowing football guru / oracle / know-it-all / whatever else, Jedi. Any other descriptors anybody wants to throw out there?
The football oracle.
No, he's above that. He's next level.
The
next
football
level.
wizard. The football wizard.
There we go. I like that. So from now on, we'll. So
Once
so
I
Brad,
get my
next-
whiteboard, it's over.
Yes, when
If
that
you get-
happens,
If you get the wizard's hat, though, that like
and make sure your name actually says football wizard. Actually, you know what?
and you can put like I'm sure there's emoticon or something you could put there. It's like a little wizard.
I
or
can
something.
fix that. Football wizard.
Uh-oh.
There we go. There we go.
No.
We've already got it.
There we are. That is your football wizard, one of the newest YouTube Hall of Famers.
Can't wait to get my patch and get I'm going to try to go to the store and get a discount. See if they're impressed.
You need to have a
I'm gonna
GoPro on.
record it too. You're like, you don't get a discount for this?
If you show if you show the patch at the National, dealers will give you 2% off sticker price.
So what's the rental price for the patch?
Ooh. Yeah,
Would
I got to
you
see
rent
what it actually. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the value is.
Ed would know. Ed's been
more than a
3
quarter?
years now.
I'm not sure. I have no idea.
Come on, Ed. You can't tell me you've never tried to rent it out. Come on.
I haven't thought that far ahead with the patch.
Man, I'm disappointed in you, Ed. Your stock has gone down in my book, my friend. How dare you?
Arrows down in the new back. Arrows down.
I gotta brush up on my branding and merchandising skills.
Yeah, come on.
They're
now.
slipping.
Yes, they are. So now that we got the trio on board here, we can talk Super Bowl, right?
We can.
I'll let you set the groundwork because I don't know how you want to approach this.
I want all the three in the bottom talking at the same time over each other. I mean, that's usually a winning formula. I've seen that in political forums, and so I'm like, that's got to work here.
That's tried and tested. The tried
Yeah.
and tested formula.
And it's worked obviously the last 8-10 years or so. I'd say just left from right or left to right. General thoughts about the Super Bowl right now. Just overall, your expectations for the game. Not going too deep into it, just sort of what you've seen and what you think may transpire. Again, fandom in it, not having fandom in it. Whatever you want to choose, and then we'll go from there and then start delving a little deeper.
Well, for me personally, like there's the Super Bowl. Like I always love watching the Super Bowl. It's always like a party. It's always fun. You go out with friends. You go to the bar. You get drinks, wings, great food specials, all that stuff. But when your team is in the Super Bowl, it's completely different. Like no drinking, no eating, no parties. Like complete tunnel vision on the game. So I would say it's like a mixture of nerves and anxiety, but excitement for the game. That's how I approach it. And this is only like me and Matt are Eagles fans, so this is only the third time this has happened where we've been in this position. At least Matt, I think you're like maybe a couple years older than me. So in our lifetime, I know you weren't around for when we played the Raiders. So this is only our third Super Bowl.
Yeah, I wasn't around for the Jaws one, but obviously remember the Terrell Owens one. But I mean, I get real anxious about it. Only my last time we won the Super Bowl, like I was like completely invested, and it was bad watching the Super Bowl. I mean, I was like, I'm not superstitious, but I remember I was listening to the game more than anything because I like listening to Merrill Reese. But it was like after every 3 and out, it was like I got to change positions. I got to like change the way I'm sitting in the chair. This is bad juju. It was bad. So, and this one with Mahomes and the Chiefs, it'll be just as dicey, I'm sure. So, but yeah, always looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good game. Actually, I have a brother who works for a news station that's going to go down and cover it. So that kind of sucks for me. He'll be down there watching it for free. So, but yeah, looking forward to it. So.
Well, what I find fascinating about this one is that with all the new school passing and all the flash, that the two teams that depend on their offensive and defensive lines are the ones in the Super Bowl. How about that? You know, it still comes back to the lines of scrimmage when you look at it. Doesn't matter, passing league, running league, doesn't matter. The fact is both of these teams have great offensive and defensive lines, and you see where they're at. So that's what I find fascinating about this matchup. Is there isn't a clear mismatch along those, which typically you will find one way or the other, but not in this one.
That last Super Bowl, the last time the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, though, I know Matt was talking a little bit about it. It was just that game was a complete nerve-wracking experience, though, to watch it as a fan of the Eagles. Like, I wish I would have had like something to monitor my heart rate during that game because it would have like just been peaks and valleys. the entire game. And even that game was a nail biter because it went down to the final play. Like I think the Patriots, like Brady threw a 50-yard Hail Mary. I mean, if Gronk would have caught it, or if another Patriot receiver would have caught it, that would have tied the game. So, like, it went down to the final play. And the crazy thing was, I'm thinking the entire time, I'm like, the Eagles played offensively, they played flawlessly. Like they had all the gutsy calls. They had the Philly special. They went for it on fourth down multiple times and converted. And they're still coming down to the last play where we can fucking lose this game. Like we could still potentially lose this game, but they managed to pull it off. And then like when your team wins, I mean, it's just it's an indescribable feeling. It's like the ultimate jubilation.
I wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
Cowboys fans wouldn't know it for a few decades. Sorry, Big Scott.
But this game's going to be this Super Bowl. This is going to be tough. Like, I know I'm stating the obvious here. It's going to be really, really. I think it's going to be really. I wanted to play the Bengals. I didn't really necessarily want to play the Chiefs. I was hoping the Bengals were going to win. The Chiefs, they got. I mean, there's so many storylines headed into this game. Kelsey brothers. Then you got the two MVPs. I mean, it's either going to be Mahomes and Hurts as the runner-up, or Hurts and Mahomes. It'll probably be Mahomes be the MVP. But there's just so many storylines, and then facing Andy Reid, who I know you were talking about it earlier, Steve. Like, what do Philly fans think of Andy Reid? Like, people respect and appreciate what Andy did here, but he never could get us over the hump in all his 14 years here. So with the core that the Eagles had at the time, like those Eagles teams from that era were so dominant. I think we went to 5 NFC championship games, 1 Super Bowl. We just could never get over the hump. There's just been so much heartbreak and disappointment. So now to be in a position for us to win another Super Bowl, and we have to go up against Andy Reid, who is a great figure in Eagles history. He's the all-time leader in coaching wins for us, but he also represents a lot of heartbreak and a lot of disappointing seasons, disappointing finishes. I mean, when they blew up, for Christ's sake, when they blew up the vet, there was people that were saying they still saw the ghost of Rondé Barber run into the end zone. I mean, there were so many disappointing Eagles games and Eagles losses in his era. And, one that really stings that I think about is the NFC Championship game that was in Arizona where it was 2008 where the Eagles lost to the Cardinals. And that was kind of like the swan song for Andy Reid's time in Philadelphia almost. I think that was a pretty pivotal moment that almost did him in. He stayed around for a couple more years, but so there's all these storylines here. You got a really great team in the Chiefs. I don't know why the media tries to downplay the Chiefs' offense. Like they always, I don't understand that. The Chiefs are one of the most dynamic teams in the NFL offensively, but if you like turn on ESPN or the NFL Network, they make it seem like it's just like Mahomes and a bunch of scrubs. Like last time I checked, they have Travis Kelce, who might be one of the greatest tight ends of all time. So, and they got solid receivers. They got Juju Smith-Schuster. What up, Vinny? And then they had the guy in the AFC Championship game. His name escapes me at the moment, but he had a shit ton of receptions. Brad,
yeah, that's what I want to talk
their
about.
other receiver?
Know that Valdez-Scantling all of a sudden became unguardable.
Yes.
Like normally he just runs straight, and every once in a while Rodgers or Mahomes would throw him one, and he would have 3 receptions for 100 yards, right? He was just torching Mike Hilton all game. Like Mahomes missed him multiple times. And I'm like, who is this guy looking like Justin Jefferson out here all of a sudden? Like, he legit was just torching them. So I don't know if that was just like the game of his life and not to be heard from again, or if that'll be interesting to see because he's going to need it against the corners of the Eagles. So
Yeah, and the Bengals secondary and their corners they're pretty solid. Like they're not.
Scrubs. Yeah,
And he was
open all game.
He was torching them. I don't know if it's because they were double teaming Kelsey, but it didn't even matter because Kelsey always gets open. It don't matter. You could double, triple team him. It don't matter. He's going to get open. But then this whole thing with the ankle injury, I don't want to go on like me and Matt were talking about this like a week ago. Like the whole thing around Mahomes' ankle, personally, like he got hurt in the Jaguars game. He definitely messed up his ankle. But in the Bengals game, I would say he was probably about 90% healthy-wise. Because if you think about it, at the end of that game, he full-blown sprints, and they win the game. Like I'm sorry, if you're in that much pain, you're not full-blown sprinting like a cheetah down the side to secure a victory for your team. So I think he's completely fine now. I think he's 100%. And this whole, playing on one leg, I don't buy it. I think that's, as Jalen Hurts would say, that's rat poison.
Yeah, I'd say 2 weeks later, 2-3 weeks later now, no. I would say it's a non-factor. Now, is he 100%? Who knows? But, yeah, I wouldn't consider it a factor. They're going to lose because his ankle's hurt type.
Yeah, like, because when I was watching the broadcast, the television broadcast, I think it was Romo. Was it Romo? Yeah. He was making it seem like they were comparing it to like the Jordan flu game. And I'm like, guys, like, he's like 80, 90%. You're acting like he's like one leg out there, like he's been, like his leg was blown off by like a landmine or something. Like
you could tell
he's moving around good.
Full pressure on it, like in certain situations, you could tell, but for the most part, yeah, he was functional.
Let's not underestimate the backup here. Give Jason a shout out. Chad Henne is, is pretty legit NFL quarterback.
He came in and he threw a touchdown.
That's what I'm saying. Every time he's come in, he's looked good on that team.
Dude, he was dropping dimes on the field.
Shout out Bozy.
Yeah, because if Hurts goes out of the game,
we've already seen that.
Yeah, that's forget about it. 86. There goes the season because Mencho, Mr. Uncle Rico, you're fucked. You're done. That'll be a blowout.
Yeah, it would be. But no, I think it's the two. I'd like to think it's the two best teams going up against it. I know the Eagles didn't have the hardest schedule in the playoffs, but in general, I think the most complete teams are there with the lines and the defenses, and the offensive are just as good. I think it should be a good game. I'm excited for the game.
We're 1.5. The Eagles are 1.5 point favorites. I don't know if anyone knows this, but it's the first time ever in Patrick Mahomes' career that he's the underdog, betting wise, in a playoff game.
Yeah, but that could change.
Yes. Yeah, that could change towards Sunday. The original line was 2.5, and now it's 1.5. Yeah. So
I'm sure it's probably going to be based on what reports state having to do with the ankle too. I think that's really, if somehow, shape, form, or fashion, the sports books get a hold of the fact that, he's going to be 100%. The ankle is not an issue at all. It is probably going to flip-flop, would be my guess. Mm-hmm. Just an opinion. But
that's why the Eagles should. Well, the media scrum's been going on the last 2 days, and I haven't really heard much about it. But that's why I was thinking the Eagles should be like dropping stuff about Jalen Hurts' shoulder, because his shoulder's not at 100%. from the Bears game. He's
Nope,
still
yeah, not
injured.
in the same sense.
No, he's still injured. He did not look that great against the 49ers. So he's clearly hurt. And I'm pretty sure he's going to have to get surgery after the Super Bowl at the end of the season. So that's definitely probably on the table. So I don't understand why the Eagles don't try to play that up a little bit, the shoulder injury. But they're not. I'm just to plant that story, because all I keep hearing about every time you turn on the NFL network or every time you turn on ESPN is the ankle. The Eagles should be focusing on making a story out of the shoulder. I don't know. That's kind of stupid, maybe talking points, but it is the truth though. If you watch the 49ers game, he missed a lot of throws. He missed AJ Brown like twice. And he's usually his deep pass accuracy this season has probably been his biggest improvement for Jalen Hurts. And he that game against the 49ers, he didn't look right. But unfortunately, that didn't matter. The defense took care of the job. Yeah, the defense and the running took care of it.
Yeah, to me, it's like I said to people like this, and when the Bucks played the Cowboys, everyone was taking the Bucks just because you were like Tom Brady, but you kind of ignored what you saw all season. Like the Cowboys are way better than the Bucks. The Eagles are better than the Chiefs. But our whole thing is, well, what's the Mahomes factor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Eagles are better than the Chiefs. I'll confidently say that. But you got the X factor of how many points is Mahomes worth. If the Eagles are 6 points better than the Chiefs, is Mahomes worth 6 or more points? You know? So, but yeah, like I like the Eagles in this one. Assuming they actually would just run the football. Because they can run it down their throats if they would just commit to it.
Yeah.
I think that's what the game plan is going to be. I think they're just going to try to run the shit out of the ball. They're just going to try to control the time of possession, just nonstop running the ball, go between Gainwell, Scott, and Miles Sanders, and just keep going through.
If you look and they have 30-plus carries, you're going to win that game, no problem. But
yeah, the way Gainwell is.
Yeah.
The way Gainwell's looking right now, he is. Yeah, he's looking like he could be the big postseason like sleeper, because he's last couple of weeks he's been killer for the Eagles, and getting him more involved is kind of the biggie. I feel like Miles, you know what you get with Miles. Gainwell's kind of that wild card where he can catch, he can run for some power, he can get some speed on people. So he's gonna be the one I'm hoping makes a career day out of this.
And I like that your wide receivers can actually beat man coverage, which not everyone has teams that have wide receivers like that. A.J. Brown prefers that, you know. So, Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
So you match up with them, I think. And then on the defensive line, you can chase Mahomes around. And, of course, he's going to get rid of it most of the time before you get there. But like Hassan Reddick, this is a perfect example of why you don't give up on players when you take them in the top half of the draft. You took them there for a reason because you saw they had the skill set, right? Well, the Cardinals kind of gave up on them. And then the last 3 years, just each year, just got more and more. He is a dominant player now. Yeah, I think the Eagles are better. I may have to go here in a little bit, so I just want to get that in. I'm taking the Eagles in this one. But
and I think
the Chiefs are the toughest team.
Year too, he's been,
which is my only apprehension. Like if I was to bet, is the Chiefs are the toughest team to beat in the league. You leave every game you play with the Chiefs going, we had a shot to win that one, but you never do. Rarely. So that's my only thing. But yeah, I think the Eagles are the better team based on what you've seen all season. But.
Final score, Brad. What are you thinking since you're having to take off here a bit?
I'm going probably 31-20 Eagles.
Wow, by 11.
By 2 scores.
Yeah, if it's close, I'm taking the Chiefs. You know, so they better show they're done. You know what I mean? If it's a field goal game, I'm taking the Chiefs. If you told me it was going to be a field goal game, but I just think the Eagles are better. And assuming they don't just do something stupid to screw it up, I think you're going to see that Sunday. They're just a little better. So that's my thoughts on it.
31-20. You heard it here first. Everybody go run to the Vegas Sportsbook and put your money on Brad's prediction.
Yeah, well, it's like Hurts will get hurt on the first play or something. Like, thanks a lot, dude.
Quick, Brad, who do you like for touchdowns? Give us a good parlay.
This should be a Dallas Goddard touchdown game. So that's one. Boston Scott's always good for a sneaky random touchdown.
Oh, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have to be a part of that parlay. So let's say you did 3. You would do Goddard, Scott for the Eagles, and then Kelsey's too easy for the Chiefs, so don't do that one. You got to go deep. Like,
Oh, I could never put a Chief on the parlay, Brad.
oh, okay.
We're not.
Well,
We're not. Eagle only.
So I would say you can go A.J. Brown with the third one on the parlay. So, yeah, I'd say Brown, Goddard, Scott, touchdowns.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'd like it. I think that would be a nice little parlay you win some good money with.
There you have it. The football wizard has spoken.
I'm pretty sure Mojo just put $1,000 on that bet, Brad.
Obviously,
All right.
his own money, his parents' money. Of course.
Love you guys. Got to go. Best of luck to your Eagles, guys. I'll be
Brad.
rooting for them because I'm like Steve. I'm sick of the Chiefs. And then after this, I'll be sick of the Eagles, though. But they get this one. All right.
Thanks for joining as always,
Thanks,
Brad.
Brad.
Go
Yep.
enjoy your induction speech.
Yeah, we'll see. I didn't even write anything down. We'll have to wing it.
Is that what he's doing? I thought he was watching Pro Bowl film.
No, he's got to go do his induction speech.
All right. See you later, guys.
Have a good night, Brad.
Ladies, Brad.
Brad.
Go on, Brad.
Of course, Brad didn't write anything down. Why would Brad write anything down? He fits into this misfit crew. Do we ever write shit? Okay, scratch that. Dave writes shit down. Vinny writes shit down. But outside of that, yes, I know, Vinny. You always have one sitting there next to you. See. Be very careful with what you say around Vinny. Vinny writes notes when it pertains to if you happen to open your mouth about a specific player or something that you'd like to add to the PC or anything along those lines. He writes that shit down. So if you don't want to run the risk of getting hit with something from Vinny, just shut up and don't say anything.
Vinny had a great little slogan, great zinger in the last episode. He said, "Clear as Texas tea."
Yes. We won't go there. We won't go there. I'll have to make sure I bring some sweet tea on my. No, that would require me to. I wouldn't be able to get it through. Shit, I guess I'll have to ship it. Damn it.
Ed, are you going to the National this year?
That's the plan. I'm definitely hoping to go, but there's like even during the boom, like the hotels didn't sell out as quick as they did. The hotels sold out insanely fast this year, which is annoying, I guess, because there's so many hotels around the convention center, but now they're slim pickings basically.
You can crash on a couch with us.
I mean, thank you, but
I'm just throwing it out there. We are an hour drive, which does suck to a degree.
I think
it will cost you nothing, Ed, is what I'm getting at.
I think right now, what the plan was, they were gonna, like, the group that I was with was renting an apartment that's near Giordano's, but I still have to buy my ticket. I still have to look into the plane situation. Carlos was saying to baseball collector, which is true. The National's really expensive. It's gotten pretty friggin' expensive the last couple years.
The room costs nothing. I've already paid for it. It's paid. 2 rooms. Sleeps 6 people each. $0. 0. So just know the option is there if you can get there.
That is sweet. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro.
Don't fucking say that. Sorry, Benny, I'm bringing you back. My bad.
AirPods went nuts.
Oh, no worries. So yeah, it will cost you absolutely nothing as far as room and board is concerned. I have already taken care of it. You won't get a bed. Sorry. The rooms are spoken for, but there is a pull-out couch in both places. So just throwing that out there.
Thunderdome it with Stove to get one.
Yeah, Stove may end up staying in one of them. But like Dave has right there, the room will cost you nothing. I've already taken care of it. That was my contribution to all of us being able to go. And you'll probably go. So how much was it? It was
Basically $0.
It was $64. That's how much it cost me to get us 2 rooms. And they're like 1,100 square feet each room or something like that. They're fucking huge.
And it's like a resort water park, something or another.
Well, there's not a water park, but it is on a resort. So I mean,
pool and such.
There's amenities. The only downside is it's an hour drive. But
have you seen the block that's around, like the houses that are nearby it? You scoped that all out?
No.
Well, it can't be worse than AC, because a couple people in AC, they got an Airbnb and it was next to a crack den and like a crack house, all boarded up and everything.
Yeah, we won't have that problem. We won't have that problem.
When in AC, do as the AC do.
So I want to reiterate, I don't want to force you or anything. Just know if you're worried about the expense from a room perspective, and Vinny, did we lose Vinny again? He left again. I think he's hitting the wrong button nowadays. Vinny's renting a car because I'm flying into Michigan and we're driving, and then Dave's driving in. So both Vinny and Dave have the super VIP tickets that include the parking pass.
That's
so
sold
we
out.
have two. So we have two parking passes, 2 vehicles. So we've got room. So just take it under advisement and consideration. If your concern about going has to do with getting a room or staying with anybody, you have an option that will cost you nothing. So
thanks, guys.
Don't leave that as an excuse.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Rooms were too expensive. No. That if it's work or airfare is too high, that I get. I get it, but don't use the room and a place to stay as an excuse.
Carlos mentioned that recently in the video that he did with Mike, though, about airfare and everything. I need to look it up. I was talking to Mike O recently about the airfare. I know somebody was saying it was like $500-$600 round trip, which that would be like $200 increase from what it was 2 years ago when it was in Chicago. I don't know. I think the 1 year it only cost like $320 round trip to Philly to Chicago. I definitely have to look into it. Hopefully the prices become a little bit more reasonable.
Well, I mean, I'll be flying into Michigan, so my prices will be a little bit different, I'm sure.
Can always look at Baltimore, Ed.
Yeah, the last time it was in Chicago, we flew out of Philly, but then when we came back, we landed in Trenton because it was a lot cheaper. Which the Trenton airport is real small. I think there's only like 2 airlines that fly out of there, but it was good. It was easy, and it was cheaper.
Dave, what jersey are you wearing today?
Wes Unseld.
Very nice.
If you're going to talk about the Baltimore, D.C. area, you need to talk about bullets. So, And again, if we're talking the Nationals in Chicago this year, got to talk about the bullets. The one I'm looking for, and I'm probably just going to buy it off the Mitchell and Ness site and bite the bullet. That might be like the big actual full price. So I can't find one in my fat sizes. The morbidly obese sizes just aren't there for a Minute Bowl. That's the one that I fucking really want to get. Showing Naomi his highlights, and she's like, how tall is he? And so I showed her the picture of him and Muggsy Bogues, and it's like he comes up to his fucking waist, and Minute's using him as like a fucking armrest. Like this dude was like 7'5", 7'6", somewhere in there. And he's a fucking tall dude. So, I mean, and I said, him shooting that 3-pointer, that's like you shooting a volleyball. That's how light the ball was. And I know Shaq had mentioned that like early on with his free throw struggles. It's like I'm shooting a volleyball. Imagine trying to do that for like basketball. So I said it makes it that much more impressive. And again, every time he jumped, you thought his fucking legs are gonna snap. I'm like, how do you not get rolled up on and your legs just look like a fucking train wreck? It's like train cars everywhere, but no, and I like his kid too, but he's sort of fallen out of favor in Orlando after they got some guys back. But yeah, Manute Bol, that's the one I really would like to acquire of that Bullets era. But this was like,
you gotta come out here with your Pennsylvania trip.
Pennsylvania trip.
Yeah, remember when you talking about coming out to Pennsylvania and seeing all the Pennsylvania guys and go to a Phillies game? And
that's, yeah. I should have came out there, 2-3 years ago when Abreu had his number on the wall. That's the one I should have came to.
Yeah, I think that's when you were talking about it.
Yeah.
Now that I'm further ingrained in the community and I'm garnering public support, maybe the Philly guys can set up a Patreon for me and fund me to come out there, and I can start doing that. Just going to baseball games, Final Fours, Super Bowls, all on your dime, because I mean it's the cool thing to do, obviously. So
yeah.
You got to hold up that sign again. There you go.
Dave's Pennsylvania trip.
It will cost.
It will cost $0.
And I can fit in with some of the farm folks out there, or the people in the country, and maybe we can raise a barn together. That can be some YouTube footage, and churn some butter. That'll draw in the views. Do that for a live stream.
The balls.
As long as you do some mule milk in the process.
I can see it now, live from Turkey Hill.
Whittle some furniture. No, it's
that.
I still want to go out that way. My sister used to live, and I don't know where it was in New Jersey, which is, I always told her what a fucking horrendous place to live. I mean, it's just about as bad as Atlantic City. It was like a half hour away or something, and now she's Robert Lewis. If you're listening to this anywhere, it is meant as a dig, but now she's living in fucking West Virginia. So I mean, it's not what we call an upgrade. I mean,
what part?
You get to sit in the middle seat. No, I'm in coach, but I'd like one on the aisle. Okay, now you're sitting right next to the overweight person on the other side who's using the bathroom that's right behind you. It's like a 12-hour flight, and the door doesn't shut to the bathroom. So I mean, did you really win? No.
That's pretty descriptive.
Well, you have to be in these troubling times.
Hey, the people
sure
of West
he's
Virginia
speaking
are wonderful.
I'm sure he's speaking from experience, Ed, is what he's getting at.
Like, yeah, yes. Now I'm sitting next to the fucking Guinness Book of World Records twins on the motorcycle. So good. Fucking treat. Yippee. So, yeah, I was gonna stay out there with her, and then she'd bring me up to wherever, and again take a train, or I can figure out if I did that up in Toronto when we were up there in 2015. I can hopefully manage in Philly. I know it's a little different, probably a few more trains or whatever than Toronto, but at the same time, again, that's a goal to go over, watch a Phillies game, because again, I know you Michael, Clint, Matt. I don't know your fandom. I'm guessing you're a Phillies fan as well at heart. I don't even remember you collecting baseball. That's the thing. It's
He's a Red Sox fan. Red Sox.
fucking A. We got enough of them on YouTube. God damn
I
it,
support the Phillies as my NL team, but like I grew up going to like Oriole games, and my dad's a Red Sox fan, so like I kind of have this weird like triangle love of
the Bermuda Triangle of success.
yeah. They've never all been good at the same time, so it's worked out well.
It's true.
Now my Boston will be down, and the Orioles will be up, so and the Phillies will be up. So
Meatloaf sang it. 2 out of 3 bad.
that's true.
No, that's a goal one day. I want to get out there. As much as everybody knows you guys as like Philly fans or Ed and the gang, it's like big Phillies fan too. I'm espousing the virtues of Mr. Abreu, and I've been doing that since what? Fuck. 9th grade, 8th, 9th grade. That's a long time ago.
Since fuck, I don't know how long is that actually. Just getting some clarification.
It's about 27 years, 27, 28.
So a fuck is 28. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Write that down, everybody. So we now have some context surrounding that. Yes, all those who write down shit, go ahead and get it written down. 28 years equals a fuck. It's good to know. Driving for good. Love you too, Dave. Love you too.
Appreciate you, bro.
So yeah, but it's one where I don't sit there and I don't pick up the pudding heads. I don't pick up the Pat Burrells. I'd love to, but again, as people have mentioned in video suggestions for a certain Hall of Fame that holds great prestige and valor, I have quite a few collections. So it's always tough to constantly pick everything up. So I'd love to pick up more Burrells, but Abreu's the guy that's always going to be the one that gets the love. So, but yeah, I'd love to go to Citizens Bank. I'd love to go out to the Nationals Park, Baltimore. I'd love to fucking go to Camden Yards. I mean, that's always been one where it just looks nice.
It's the best park.
It's awesome.
Where
best
that
park.
district, and it's like I want to go there. And again, the Orioles are starting to make a little rumbling here and there. That then the class that they're starting to develop, and we'll be putting out what Gunnar Henderson and Colton Cowser and Grayson Rodriguez, I think the pitcher.
Mhm. Yeah, DL Hall.
It's like they're starting to reap some of the benefits of decent scouting and high draft picks and spending the money above slot on some of these like second, third round guys. So I really want to get out there and just see them before. I don't think it'll become like the Blue Jays, but I really want to go out there before they explode. And it's like, okay, now you can go see the Orioles 4 or 5 years ago for like 30 cents for a ticket. Nobody fucking cared. I don't want to pay like 50, 60 bucks to go watch the Orioles. I don't want to pay 50, 60 bucks for anything to fucking watch anything. because I got to be around people that are dumb. So, but yeah, at some point that will happen. But again, trying to do all the stuff. Vinny and I have talked many a time about the Toronto show, the expo. We want to go up there and fucking just like be kids in the candy store with hockey cards. All the other shows, I don't know. I don't know if I'd care as much. A Dallas, whatever that stupid Culture Collision, Burbank. I don't want to really support that dude out there. I don't mind his eBay listings, but
Yeah.
I don't need to fucking go everywhere for every card show. Paducah, Kentucky. I don't need to go to see a road show there, or go to fucking like Macon, Georgia, or goddamn Utah, Alabama, or fucking Pensacola, Florida. There doesn't need to be a show at every town that's a fucking must go to show. It's all going to be relatively the same because they're going to get 75% of the same fucking dealers going to all this shit. The same shit. It's not like, oh my god, a whole new world of dealers with great value. No, it's going to be fucking assholes. So, the shows know, Carlos mentioned it, the National, we've said it many a time. It's going to be fun for cards because it's going to be a lot of shit, a lot of other shit. As I told these guys, I said, there's a fucking ton of just like sports stuff there. You just think of anything, pennants, video games, programs, jerseys, fucking pictures, shadow boxes, all kinds of this fun shit. It'll be there. But I want to go for food. My fattening tour, even though I'm off Facebook, it's going to be fucking amazing. It's not going to be, let's go to fucking like Arby's or fucking McDonald's. You guys can go fucking jerk off in the fucking McDonald's bathroom. I don't give a shit. I'm not fucking stepping foot in there. I'm going to have real fucking food. I don't care if I got to pay more for the food than I do for the cards. We're going to Gibson's. We're going to Portobello's. We're going to fucking Giordano's. We're going to fucking Lake Street to find another hole in the wall pizza place. It's gonna be good food, good eating.
Dave said he's gonna make his chili too, Ed. I don't know if that's gonna sway you to come stay with us or not.
Shit.
The best chili you'll ever have, bar none, and I fucking guarantee it. Nothing you've had is even close to reasonable chili.
So I don't know if that'll help sway the decision, but Dave
That
has
might
already
be a
said,
deal breaker.
He already said he's gonna make the chili.
Yeah.
I could tug on Ed's heartstrings a little. I said, "Hey, C, guess who might be going to National with us?" And she said, "Who?" I said, "Ed." First thing out of her mouth, "Let's go." Second thing out of her mouth, "Cool. Ed and I could talk Naruto."
There we go.
Now, if that doesn't just pull at the old heart there, Ed, there's another reason, my friend.
These
now
are
we're
deal
gonna
breakers.
now we're gonna freaking make him feel like shit. See, so Dave and Bob have their room. Me and Vinny and C have ours. Stove will probably crash with Dave and Bob, which means you can crash with me, Vinny, and C. All is well. And y'all can talk Naruto all night. Going between rooms, probably, because that's just how it's going to work. I do need to call them and make sure our rooms are fairly close to one another, though. That's something I haven't done yet. May need to do that.
And we need a facility for Dave's chili and his chili brewing process.
Oh, that's not. These have full kitchens. Both refrigerators are going to be stocked full of beer and whatever else we can stash in there. It'll be fun times. Yes, after the show, hanging out, all the meet and greets, some of the freaking trade nights, all that kind of shit. Great and fantastic because we get to meet a lot of people. But sitting there going back to the rooms and just living it up. There's going to be no sleep. We're all going to be dog fucking tired.
That's the one thing with the national you need to get. You need to get sleep. Like, I think I've talked about this before. I can't
You
function
have.
if I don't get the sleep.
Yes.
Like, you need to sleep. The sleep is so important.
Yeah, there was many nights at that 09 one, because again, we had like the Pistons fan, Elon was there with me, and like 7, 8 other guys from the card site. We were, and I said the story, I think, to either Foxy or one of our national shows, that up until like 5:30 in the morning, Elon was breaking cards, and didn't know we pulled a Mike Hart 101 out of Upper Deck Draft Edition, like 08. And it's like I got kicked because I passed out at the bottom of the bed at the end. So I was under these blankets that had tumbled off, so nobody saw me there, and they came in and fucking just, again,
They
didn't know
walked
I
on
was
you.
there, booted me. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell are you doing? I don't know. So it was, I mean, it's going to be one in which I will have a couple things of Advil, probably a couple things of Aleve, and a couple things of Dones, because I know it's going to be fucking struggle bus central. Because I'm not going to wear proper shoes like everybody else. I'm going to wear my Keens, my sandals that I always wear, and I'll be comfortable as fuck. Because that's
The
what
nice thing. The nice thing about it is, though, is if and when you're ready to say, fuck you guys, I'm going to get some sleep, you go to your room and you shut the fucking door.
Yeah,
For those passing out on the couch, you may have to deal with some noise for a little bit longer, but one good thing is, at least for those of us who have rooms, we can say, hey, peace out, fuckers. I'm going to bed. Door closed.
Doctor's staying at our place too. I forgot.
Yeah, he's got a place at the same resort. His friend hooked him up.
So there's another guy. Joe will be there.
We'll start getting other people over there. It's going to be an hour out and it'll be a fucking Avicii concert from fucking Switzerland or Sweden or something. Like, what the hell's going on in there?
Ty, I don't think
ELO, whatever, the dance music all night.
Ty, I don't think you'll have to be concerned about videos.
I think we'll get in a lot too. I think people will notice some of the shenanigans we're going to be up to. Or one of us at least.
Not to mention any names or anything. Dave.
Dave, you're definitely not going to be able to control yourself around some of these dealers. I'm telling you right now. You're gonna let it fly on some of these guys. When you go up to some of these showcases and you just see some of the prices when it's like 10x over recent comps, I don't think you're gonna let that fly. You're gonna sound off. Or when you see like a 90s insert, of something that you like, of something that you really want, and like what this stuff sells for. But it'll be like, I don't know, 15x what it goes for. The trade verbal blows with some of these people is going to be hilarious.
Well,
I can't wait for that.
Well, we've told him to invest in a GoPro.
If you see that, you better fucking have a phone or a camera or something out immediately, because it's going to be, there will be shots fired, not literal, because again, Chicago doesn't bullets for us, but I always dread that. That's why I hate going to shows, just because you fucking know there's gonna be so many dingbats that are dealers, and yeah, you're fucking, I'm not paying for your kid's college off of precious metal gem Kerry Collins. You can go play in traffic on fucking the O'Hare runway. I don't give a shit.
I always try to do it cordially. Like one of my go-to lines is, respectfully, walk me through how you came up with that price.
No, come on. Hey, dumb fuck. What crack were you smoking? Because I think you should be sharing, because I don't get it.
No, yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and please, sir, tell me the multiplier you used to come up with this wonderful price. No, you're fucking stupid. What the fuck's going on here? I mean, did you not get any sleep, or what are we doing here?
This is no disrespect to Spinatron, but did they use Spinatron math and numbers to come up with some of it? Because some of his pairings, if anybody reads the blurb in the description, which I've stopped, that guy comes up with some crazy shit that falls into play and magically works. But some of these guys must oh, there's the GoPro. There's the GoPro.
All we're gonna need is this and see what a set of earmuffs, and I got both.
Yeah, he's gonna have to have some super powered beats or something on, and is that Scott? You'll have to let me know, because again, I love my AEW, I love my wrestling, but sports card wise, that's up Carlos's alley. I don't dabble a ton. I've got my 2 or 3 Bryan Danielson early tops rookie auto type things. Anything else? I've got what did I get? Oh, Lance Archer, formerly known Lance White in TNA, and I think he was in WWF with Kid Cash as Dallas. But I don't. If it's a game, hey, I know they got the Fight Forever pushed back again, their video game, but that's metal for fucking out of Upper Deck like they do the.
Yeah, PMGs.
Yeah, I don't bother. I love it, but that's one where I can't justify spending that money on wrestling cards. I'd rather get wrestling gear. I'd rather finish off my DVD runs, my VHS runs, or go to if AEW were to come to the cities, I'd rather go down there and spend a couple $100 on tickets or whatever. Watch it down there than spend it on cards, because
if they do blasters and there's a chance of getting PMGs and some of the rarer inserts, I may grab a few and sit on them. I meant to grab some of the Upper Deck AEW and sit on them, and I just failed to do so. But
the series, the series 1 and the Upper Deck from last year and this year, they have fallen through the floor. I remember when that stuff came out, it was $150 a box for one premium hit, which is a relic card or an auto or a short print card, and I think they're down to $60 now. So
yeah, I know Carlos opened a couple blasters of AEW or Upper Deck AEW and did fairly well. And it's one of the few products that has been thrown on Target's website that's sold out fairly quickly. So it's all really dependent on what the bang for the buck is that dictates how long kind of things hang out there.
There was a good amount of wrestling at the National last year. Singles, yeah. There was a good mix of AEW, a lot of WWE Undisputed autographs, a lot of Topps Chrome refractors, different color parallels. But
yeah, I think the floor on wrestling has fallen a little bit. I remember when Prism WWE came out, it was $400 a box or something crazy like that. I think it's down to $200, but I think with Panini having the rights and having Impeccable and Prism and Select and Finest and all that kind of stuff dropping, they'll be off at the shows.
Prism Hobby was in upwards of $3,000 or $4,000 for WWE initially.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think it's down to 200 or something now. So
yeah, because
the sales were boo-boo on it at first.
Yeah, all the big name guys kind of like pulled like the Black Finites and stuff, so it kind of lost a lot of its luster.
Yeah, I remember the Undertaker card with like a prison parallel with him, like just like the shadow of him was going for crazy money, and I think the market has cooled off a lot on that stuff. So,
Well, too, and then you had I don't know for how many years you only had the 1 or 2 Taker autos on tops, like early on, like 01, 02, whatever it
Yeah.
was. And now Panini, you got pretty much like they did with so many of the football guys that now you can get pretty much whoever you want. And again, you're still paying a chunk of money, but now if you want to take your auto, you've got to
much
take
more
your auto.
affordable. Much more
Yeah.
affordable.
Readily
Like I remember that
available.
Triple H, auto. He had one like it was a matte auto from I think Topps way back in the day in the '90s or early 2000s, and that one for crazy money. Now you can get like a select auto for like $150 or something like that. So
Yeah, but Matt, now that's his rookie auto. So
I'm sure it still carries the value, but you
Yeah.
know,
No, it's going to depend too on like at the national who's signing. I'm always interested just to see who's signing. Because usually they've got some wrestler there. It's either like Hogan,
Ric
Flair.
Flair.
If Hogan's there, that will probably be the one that I look at trying to do. Because
what would you get?
8x10. It's just 8x10.
To Naomi.
Yeah, always to her. And then I just tell them, unlike many of the other people that you're probably meeting today, you were not my favorite as a kid. I was always hoping the one-man gang would beat you up and destroy you. I wanted Zeus to kill you. Macho Man, I love Macho Man. But I'll use the line. I'll say, I appreciate what you did for the business and brought it to the forefront and the mainstream because you were the bus driver. I know McMahon would be the one that's driving, but I mean, without Hogan as your fucking captain, you would not have nearly the successes that wrestling has over the last 35, 40 years.
You think anyone goes to meet Hogan just to get like a Gremlins 2 poster signed?
Either that or the Mr. Nanny?
Mr. Nanny or what was the Three Ninjas one? He did Three Ninjas too, right?
Yeah, so I mean,
I don't think he was in the first one.
No, I
That
think
was
it
one of
the
the third
second
or
one.
fourth or something. It was god awful.
Or a Thunder in Paradise like pennant or something. I don't know. I hope somebody does just to be a fucking dick. Like I should be, but again with wrestling, I try not to be. That's the one. If you're meeting somebody and they're taking their time to sign, I get where it's fucking horseshit because again, people suck. But that's I want to meet these guys because again, the nostalgia. It's may have been said on this podcast before, but that's basically shit I collect. If I'm a fucking youngster, I want to get all the stuff that when I was young, the mask toys, all the wrestling videos that nobody gives a shit about. I want to meet all the wrestlers. Get DVDs of like the movies that nobody gives a shit about. The old USA Saturday Nightmares. I want to look through that catalog. Get everything I can. It's stuff that probably is boring as shit to anyone, but it just nostalgia for me is always gonna rule the roost when it comes to collecting. And that's the wrestling shit. It's always something I'll do, something I always try to tell people. You get a chance to fucking meet somebody, do it because you don't know when you're gonna die. And in wrestling, that happens all the time. The Genius just passing away. One of the guys that didn't have all the fucking drugs and carousing and boozing and guy that was always into fitness and as they say in the business, clean living. So he just died, and I got to meet him. How many years ago that was? 3-4 years. So glad I got to meet him. Piper was the same thing. It was one year after met him, he died. So that part of the history, or that part of like the childhood, I always go back to as something insanely important for me. Like people might like, I liked wrestling. I didn't really care about this, that, or the other thing, but I watched the Saturday night's main event or whatever. And it's like, well, I didn't. I was watching everything as a fucking fool. WCW Saturday night, the Power Hour on Sunday, like Superstars, fucking time wrestling on Monday night. Just anytime wrestling was on, I was watching it. So if somebody watched Wings, Quantum Leap, whatever. I mean, that might be their thing, but wrestling was mine. Again, sport too, but I mean, a lot of us watch sports. So I'm excited to see for the National who's signing. Maybe Josh Johnson will be there and Hulk Hogan. That'll be a fucking that right there. It's a little flip. Game over. I'd be fucking cloud 9 because 2012 I thought about going to that November show that they have down there, the Sports Spectacular, because Johnson was signing, and then he got traded to Toronto. So then they canceled all the shit. Thank you. That's great. Makes me happy.
What's he up to, Josh Johnson, you think? Is he coaching anywhere?
I don't think so. I know he's got 2 young sons, or they were, I don't know how many years ago, but I think he's pretty much one of those guys that doesn't need the fucking limelight. It's not in any social media shit. Just nowhere, which sucks because I'd love to try to coordinate like an interview with him, just because that's my guy. That's when not only people say, "Oh, it's that Josh Johnson guy." It's like, well, yeah, that's the guy I followed. I dropped the most money on. I # invested the most. But it's been fun. I still collect them. I still spend way more than I should on shit that I've already got copies of. But if I'm not going to get them, somebody else is going to fucking pay out their ass for it. So the way it's going to be, fuckers.
So Dave, not to change the subject.
What was the subject?
Not to change the subject that you were talking about. There. Better clarification for you?
There.
Asshole.
My rambling diatribe.
Yeah. I'm retracting the soapbox for you. I'm going to put Ed on the spot briefly. Everybody catch that reaction? Have you had a chance to watch last week's episode on replay yet?
I think I saw most of it. I think I've seen most of it.
So I'm curious to know your opinion on the suggestion that we talked about as far as the IRP bingo shirts.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What are your thoughts as it pertains to actually getting them autographed by people, and the fact that, IRP bingo was a thing for an extended period of time? And yes, Vinny, at some point we're going to have that conversation in more detail. But thoughts, disagreements, changes, other suggestions as it pertains, because everybody, not everybody, but a few people have sat there and talked about making sure you bring something to get signed. And,
how about shirts? Good. We definitely a couple people actually made shirts last year. I think a beer koozie would be really cool for the IRP.
Yeah, the only problem is it wouldn't hold that many signatures.
That's true.
And because let's face it, from what we've kind of gathered, there's going to be close to 40 guys, give or take, that have had multiple rumblings. So that, I mean, that's, you got to have a lot of acreage, so to speak.
Yeah, we need real estate
to garner that many signatures.
My size shirts for sure. So get the fucking tent and awning size.
Well, I think for an IRP shirt, you definitely have to get a medium. Come on. Come on. Yeah.
You're not completely wrong in that thought, because we're not wearing them. That's the thing. So to a degree, that would be kind of funny if we could find a way to find shirts and make a slight change to where it says medium for the size. I think that would be great, but
shirts are probably the best cost wise. Another decent one for space would be maybe like a mini Pelican case. That'd be pretty funny though. But
we're looking at cost basis.
There's two problems. Yeah, there's two problems with that. One, there's not as much space, and two, if you're flying, that would be a bitch because it takes up a lot of space.
Well, see, I at least have at least the advantage to a degree. I'm shipping like all my stuff that I'm giving to people and whatever else, I'm shipping it to Vinny prior to, and then leaving it with him to ship back to me. So from that perspective, I don't have an issue. Dave is driving to and from, so he doesn't have an issue. Bob is catching the Greyhound bus, so I wouldn't think he would technically have the issue. But it's one of those in which just trying to think of something, I years ago when I first was hoping to go to the National, originally I was going to do a custom Broncos jersey and have my YouTube name on the back and the number be 79 and have people sign it. Well, even from that perspective, you want most of the autographs on the numbers. You would run out of real estate real fast if if there's 30 people who you want to sign this jersey. So that's why it was like, go with the shirt, but shirt specific to kind of what the IRP is known for. No, none of us are bringing underwear. We're not going to pull a Pepino Man again.
I was like the last holdout for that too when Pepino Man was getting those underwear signed. I'm like, people aren't going to really sign this, are they? And then I think 50 people signed it, and they're like, okay, you're the only asshole that didn't sign it. I'm like, oh well, fuck it, I'll sign it now. I guess I kind of have to sign it. Got a whole Hanes underwear all filled up with signatures.
But, like I said, the bingo thing I thought about because that was the longest running kind of shtick thing that we kind of had going. But I couldn't think of anything else. And it's not like we've sat there and really thought about possibilities of other things from that perspective. Granted, Ed, you still give us shit from time to time asking about, merch. Well, it's not like we're actively trying to push to get merch off the ground by any stretch of the imagination, because that shit gets costly. But
beer koozie, Pelican cases, that needs to be the focal point of the merchandising for the IRP.
Plushy kidneys. Allegedly. Think about it.
This is true, Vinny. This is true.
I mean, they go right with Dave's disturbing stuff that he has behind him.
Well, and that and Pandora's box,
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. But, in the past, Ed, you came up with some suggestions for shirts in the past. Granted, I don't remember any of them, but I was basically like picking your brain to see if there was anything out there other than what I had suggested about doing a bingo thing that you could think of for a shirt that could commemorate the IRP attending the National.
I think I've seen that thing at a national before, going through a value box.
He'll be right there with SCI this year after his groundbreaking video. We thought Car Collector 2 had a groundbreaking dollar box video. Now SCI's at it. Good God almighty. Like they just were created yesterday.
They were. Right during the hobby boom.
Yep, that's it.
Remember, the whole hobby thing started in 2018. Come on.
Value boxes, they used to be like at the National, they used to be gold mines. There used to be so much great stuff in the value boxes. Now, I said was the one in Atlantic City, the National Atlantic City, I could not find a good value box to save my life. Like, well, hold on, there was good dollar boxes for singles, but there were so many value boxes for slabs, like just wall-to-wall boxes for like discounted slabs, and you go through them. Like this one dealer in particular, he must have had 4 tables worth of just like these huge 3-row boxes filled brim to brim with BGS, SGC, and PSA slabs. And it was like four for $50 or like $10 a pop, and it was just wall to wall shit. It was so bad. Like there wasn't one salvageable slab in there. I'm like, this guy probably caused like the backlog at some of these companies. It was just like Gavin Lux's PSA 7s, Juan Mancata PSA 6s, like PJ Washington, Dwayne Haskins. I don't know. Every single rookie from Prism basketball, every single rookie from Prism football, even like the 4th string guys, all PSA 8s and 7s. I'm like, did anyone even look at these cards when they were sending them in? Like, or what was the process here?
Anything that shines and has a rookie logo on it, it's getting graded.
Then I'm looking at the dealer and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you like burned so much money like here. Like you like literally cost yourself thousands of dollars like just sending in all these cards. And what were you even thinking? Like there was like one whole box that it must have been like, I don't know, like 200 slabs, all PSA 8 and 9s of like Gavin Lux's rookie debut. Not even his rookie card, his rookie debut. I'm like, maybe he was a shareholder in CLCT or something. I don't know, but I don't get it.
I haven't graded a card in years. I'm scared to send in anything anymore these days with delays and pricing, and I don't know if it's gotten any better.
I mean, I love Gratin. I've been doing it for quite a while, and that's one of the things I really like about the hobby, like going to shows or opening packs and finding a cool card and wanting to get it graded. The prices are trending towards that becoming more and more viable, so I like where that's going. But the turnaround, like if you want to send the SGC, the turnaround is super quick. And the customer service is awesome. CSG, if you're going to send to them, I think it's like a month wait, but they're pretty quick. And PSA, you'll probably be waiting like 5-6 months, which is pretty decent. It's not bad.
What about tag?
I don't even think someone just
2 days.
I heard a rumor that they're not even accepting submissions. Somebody, I forget who, think Ty sent me a message or something. Ty Nitty, Daniel, he tried to
He
create a
wasn't here.
submission. He tried to create a submission. He tried to create a submission of 10 cards and it said sold out or something. I'm like, sold out? What? What's going on here?
Only Carlos would know the answer to that question. He's a big tag supporter. He knows all the ins and outs.
Tag.
Like the old body spray. If you don't want to get axed, you got tagged.
There was a guy at the National last year that he goes to the National every year, or at least every year I've been going. I see him. He slabs his own cards. He like literally has his own little slab machine, and he slabs his own cards. And the kicker being, his sticker prices are, what's the word I'm looking for here? They are
Comparable.
They are comparable to PSA's prices.
What are you talking about, Ed?
He's one of the dealers that I said my little phrase to. I said, respectfully, help me understand how you come up with this price. Well, the PSA 10, so this ain't a PSA 10, Bob.
Oh, but they're comparable. Come on now.
It's comparable.
They're graded. They're in a grading case.
JBG, Joe Bob grading.
Upfield. Yeah, that's the two things I worry about. All the asshats of the community that are just fucking dipshits. Which, again, there's plenty. There's plenty. Watching Home Ec Close and Team Medium and fucking Jeff Wilson gets a fucking baby dick hard on for. I found a $10 card in a dollar box. I can't believe it. Little story. And then the dealers that Ed has been on his rants about. I just dread those types of folks where it's. What? I just don't think I'll be able to hold back if it's like if I see two or three things that I'm like I really like. And again, if it's of the Josh Johnson persuasion, again, it's not like multiple dealers are gonna have multiple Josh Johnson cards, so it's probably gonna be something on the low numbered, and they want like an arm and a leg for it. It's like really? Then to start hearing that, well, it's a one of one. Yeah, okay. I'm aware of this, but that doesn't mean everything that's a one of one is $2-3 grand. A lot of stuff has changed in the market. It's changed, but not for the better.
When you're talking about Josh Johnson cards, though, you should say, bitch, I am the market.
Get a shirt made for that. How much for that John Johnson? It doesn't matter. I pay what I want.
Matt, you would like the last National had a good amount of non-sports autographs, and as a fellow non-sports collector, I gotta let you know the prices were just. I sent you the picture of the $10,000 Natalie Portman auto, right?
I think you did, yes. Yeah.
That guy was nice too. That dealer was actually really nice.
First time signing, I guess he can ask what you want for it, but
yeah,
that fell really quick after a while.
Then he had Felicity Jones, Jen Urso for $650.
She's like a dime a dozen. These she's not hard to pull or to
that's
find
why
cheap.
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, she signs in almost like every Star Wars release, but it's numbered at a 50. Okay,
It really does. She's easy hits you can get. So, but yeah, I've gone on sports since the card boom. Kind of enjoying the Star Warsy stuff and the actor autos and whatnot. So that's what's been
Star
keeping me
Wars
busy.
Yeah, Star Wars for the longest time was really good, but then I would say the last 2 years it's kind of gone sideways, especially price wise on a lot of different things, especially
Yeah.
the autos. Now I don't know if it's because box prices are so expensive and case prices are so ridiculous, so a lot of these people are buying into case breaks and box breaks, and they're spending a shit ton of money. So I don't know if that has any correlation to it, but
Yeah, boxes got expensive, and it was just like sports. I think a lot of people from like the investment bros came over, and we're all of a sudden just pumping the Galaxy stuff, which is basically a Chrome Star Wars set, and pushing like mad sales on certain cards because they had superfractors and whatnot. So it got pretty messy for a while in that market too. So
the Sapphire, the Star Wars Sapphire is the one that was really stupid.
yeah, and then Chrome Galaxy came out. It's like a $400 box now, and realistically, it probably should be like $120 or something.
They are sweet cards, though.
Yeah,
I really like them. I was trying to get the Shadows of the Empire insert that's in there for this year's Chrome Galaxy, like the different type of color variations.
Mm-hmm.
The 101 was in Australia and it sold for like $1,600.
Yeah, that market got big real quick. I remember I got a Harrison Ford auto just before it boomed at probably like 700 from Steel City, who is not cheap by any means. And right now, you probably can't get one for like 1,500. So everything just boomed up with it. So
Yeah, people couldn't afford football, baseball, basketball stuff, so they started going to other crap that was more affordable.
And that's something I ended up doing because like I like Star Wars, I like busting boxes. It was fun, but like you can pull the same voice actor so many times. There's so many more, I think it's harder to hit, and it's for sure harder to hit in Star Wars than anything else. But
yeah, but even the voice
there are
actors,
some cool like relic cards and whatnot. But yeah, it's tough.
Like I remember Ashley Eckstein was always like a $10, $15, $20 tops to get one of her different type of autographs on an Ahsoka card, and now she's like, I think like
$70 every day.
Yeah, 70 on a bad day, 100 on a good day. I'm like, this is insane. Like this is nuts.
Well,
and then Game of Thrones bumped huge and never gave me a Pedro Pascal auto, so I'm still pissed off about that, Ed.
No, he never signed for Rittenhouse. They never got him.
Oh, it was
and
annoying.
They keep releasing. I found out Rittenhouse keeps releasing a series every year for Game of Thrones because contractually they have to retain the license so they don't lose the license. Because I kept wondering, I'm like, why do they keep releasing a new set with the same signers? Yeah. It's like there's no ingenuity to it. It's not something I want to set collect. I just don't know why they're releasing this. Well, turns out contractually they have to release something to keep the license because House of the Dragon, they're going to be releasing that this year, I think. In a couple months. So yeah, I'm going to be all over that.
They were at the last Phillies non-sports card show, kind of just talking about that upcoming. So
yeah, definitely there's going to be a lot of speculators jumping ham into that. So we got to make sure to get our Patty Constantine autos. we got to make sure to get that.
It's in May, Ed. You got to come along this time.
I'm sure you know, Matt, but the absolute best time to get any of those type of autographs is the day and week that stuff goes live, is released. Go on eBay, go to the auctions, because you'll always get someone who's a breaker or who was gambling and got into a case break and just wants to dump those cards. They have like no interest in the cards. They just want to move them. Just go in and bid and go hard, because after a couple weeks, the cards will eventually dry out.
Yeah.
And you get your deals the first week of release on the auctions. All the time with non-sports, with that type of thing.
Vinny, you were going to jump in and say something.
I said you could thank the great curator, one of Paul's favorites and mine.
Oh.
and Merle World. There's another. They're beloved in the Toronto Expo scene. I thought after their little return home and bashing of the Canadian way, I don't think they're allowed to return. They're like, we'll come back to go to dinner, but we'll never come back to the expo. I'm like, just say you hate hockey. Just say it, and you're going to be banned for life. It'd be easier for you.
Yeah, I know Great Curator was the one that I remember distinctly, like just pumping stuff and like just trying to move the market as much as he could, and for no reason. It was like the card he was trying to shill was like a regular card. I don't know. So I know,
did
very
the same
familiar.
did the same with Marvel.
I
So,
just want to break even in this. I'm quitting. This is the worst show I've ever had. I'm quitting. I thought you only wanted to break even there, buddy.
He's done the Philly show a few times, and the one time I did check out his showcase, and it was all the Marvel stuff for like just outrageous prices. I'm like, who the fuck's coming to the Philly show to pay $3,500 for a Venom
Marvel?
for a 90s Venom card? Like, come on, man.
What's funny is I got into the Star Wars cards after seeing a bunch of Matt's posts. They had high tech Star Wars, so I got a Chewie and a Han, and then I got this cool. I mean, it has to be 240 point Han Solo card with the blaster on it. Then I happened to throw a bid down for a Jambalaya Spider-Man
Oof.
2099 card. I won it for $25.
There you go.
Wow.
That thing's like worth like 800 or 900.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it to the National. First person that'll trade me something good for Lemieux, that card's gone.
And who was it? You say Spider-Man?
Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah, that'll be an easy flip.
I'm like, go. I've had it for
2 years,
if not
at
more.
least. At least, because I remember when you got it.
Non-sports does very, very well at the trade nights because for the National, I know Big Smooth, who I usually hang out with, he has all the slabbed non-sport oddities and a lot of different things. He had like Elon Musk's rookie card.
Was he the one with the Ronald McDonald?
Yeah, he was the one with Ronald McDonald. Dude, that Ronald McDonald got more people asking about it and interest on the trade nights than probably any other card in that damn room. Like everyone wanted to know about the Ronald McDonald. And he did well. He traded a lot of stuff, sold a good amount of stuff. Yeah, I would say the Ronald McDonald, the Elon, and then he had, I think, like John Adams rookie card, the president from like this. Yeah, I think it was like the 1800s or something. Oh no, he had a lot of. Basically, if it's real rare, well, not if it's obscure and it's something that people have never seen before, it's gonna catch attention on a lot of those trade nights. Because sometimes you go to a national trade night and you keep going to all these different people. It's the same stuff. Everyone has
Same
the
names.
same. Everyone
Same
has the
sets.
same, Acuna rookie card. Everyone has the same Justin Herbert prism, or everyone has the same Joe Burrow prism, or I'm sorry, my boy Juan Soto. Everyone has the same Juan Soto update card. So you keep going to table, and you're like, oh, there's another Justin Herbert. There's another Burrow. There's another Mahomes. Oh fuck, Ronald McDonald and Elon Musk. What's this?
Yeah, no, there's some really cool non-sport stuff. I know somebody posted in one of the Facebook groups. He got like a Freddie Mercury rookie sticker from Panini from like one of his first sets ever. It was like an Italian rookie card of Freddie Mercury, and I'm like, that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's like a $60 card on eBay or something, but the history behind it, it's just awesome.
Yeah, Panini Smash Hits makes a lot of these like cool musical. Well, they're not technically cards; they're stickers, but the third-party graders will grade them. SGC grades them. PSA grades them. CSG won't. They don't do non-sports yet, but they do grade them. And there's some pretty neat stuff. Like I bought. Well, it's not Panini Smash Hits, but I just picked up the 1997 Argentina Legends of Rock Eddie Vedder rookie card. That one was cool. I like the photography that was on that card.
Hey, back in our prime, we had the Yo MTV Raps that was going around.
Yeah, and the 91 Pro Set, or Pro Set was it? Pro Set Music?
I don't remember who it was, but it was to watch that go around and see the cards that people took out of that pack, and it ended up going. Shit, did it go back to Nate? Dave, I know you're still there. You're probably stuffing your face, and it's getting close to wrapping up time. But
You're correct.
didn't it go back? Okay, it was Nate who got the last few cards back, but that was fun.
So I'm hoping to find like a box of that there, like maybe like $10.
Oh, if it's at a national, it's gonna be $30 at least. You know,
Yeah.
let's try to make some money on this box. Got to pay for the table.
Meat on the bone. Meat on the bone.
I think Dave would probably still freaking pay $20 or $30 just because of the nostalgia and the fact that the damn cards went around to multiple people.
Yeah, that was. And you see that today again. They just send the boxes around again. One of my most favorite memories from YouTube was one of those boxes going around and somebody basically shitting on the contents of said box. I've been through that story enough.
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, I've told you. It just it's something where you try to do something good and people just find fucking something to shit on about it. So that's why a lot of that stuff doesn't go on, because either and again, if people will put good stuff in there, but it's all again subjective. That's always the problem with one of those situations. It's like, well, I think this card is good, and I think these two Packer fans would love it. Well, this individual said this card's a piece of shit. It's like, well, no. In reality, you are, but
Yeah, people bitching about what people were putting into it, knowing where certain things were going. You know, certain people put stuff in there knowing where it was going in hopes that they would take those cards out as part of their cards that they wanted. So in that sense, it wasn't about the quote unquote value or the price point. Now, I'm sure that there were some nice cards in there, and there probably were a few people who may have put in garbage.
yeah,
It's possible. It is possible. But like you said, it's subjective. Some of the stuff I put in may be garbage to one person, but not to 5 other people. So it's one of those in which, based on perception, and what are you looking at? Value, resale, cost basis. I mean, you know, what's your definition of garbage in that situation? So
yeah,
but
that was
a clusterfuck at the end of the day. But on that note, we are coming up on the 2.5 hour mark, Dave.
We remember it fondly.
Well, it seems
Yep.
like I'm constantly reminded of a certain individual no matter where I go in the country, so that's always a plus for me. And I can go to non-card related things, and I still bump into him there. Michael's wedding. Cough.
Cough, cough, COVID.
Yeah. I guess the only other stuff trade deadline for NBA Thursday at 2:00. Kyrie going. I think I wish he would go on Elon Musk's fucking rocket to the sun. He's a fucking dipshit. Again, great basketball talent. Like Kanye, good rapper. Just shut your mouth on anything else. You have no fucking tangible thought that anyone cares about. Ever. You're a fucking dipshit. And then the Royal Rumble. The two that were pretty much supposed to win, or pundits thought they'd win, actually won. Again, I know it's in Cody's contract and all that shit, but still fun to see him and Walter Gunther at the end. And I know, Steve, you'll say I haven't watched since Mark Henry snubbed you for a fucking autograph and The Rock patted you in the back and said, "In your fucking room, I'll sign your notebook for you."
I've watched it a little bit since then, but I don't follow it like I once did, and that had nothing to do with it. That's not what turned me off. It just got to the point to where I don't know. Shit was too predictable, I guess, and it just got to the point to where I guess I didn't care. So,
well, again, a lot of people just outgrow it. It's like, well, I remember, like we said before, remember the storylines of the late 80s, early 90s are the fun at the time of the Attitude Era. And then when the Attitude starts going away, Rock starts going away a little more, Austin gets hurt a little more. It's like, well, Shawn Michaels loses his smile for the 30th time. Or it's like, then it starts going away to new people. It's like, well, I like these guys, but it's not the people I bought into. So,
Man, I did that when they got rid of my boy Roadkill.
those are sad days with the ECW. That's somebody I need to dress up as probably for National.
Leaf might bring you on as the signer, the wrestling signer then, Dave.
I don't want Brian Gray anywhere near me because I'm sure he slobbers and spits and really don't.
I was
I don't
watching his
have-
live stream early. That's always fun.
But he's paying cash, Dave. Cold hard American cash in
Because
hundreds.
That's a great crime. We never got a Roadkill Prism card. Can you imagine the 1-of-1 golden vinyl of Roadkill out of Prism? Fuck, that'd be worth a couple grand.
I'm shocked he didn't put him in like the 9th edition of like the Leaf Legends of Wrestling. It's like, who doesn't know the legend Roadkill? But yeah, the Barbarian Legends of Wrestling. I mean, no. Again, for me, yes. For most novice wrestling fans, just there's plans, thoughts, ideas for National. I'd love to come in there with that get up on with like a rotisserie chicken in the package.
That'd be amazing.
Just eat it at a table. Just have people watching. Just have somebody else recording me doing that because I know people need.
Get chicken grease all over our Pelican case. Throw the chicken bones on the showcase.
Hey, is this enough meat on the bone for you? Yeah, it'd be an enjoyable time. But yeah, those two winning should have won. They did. Trying to think, the Roman Reigns storyline's fucking gold. The whole thing, because again, everybody predicted Sami Zayn turning on him at the Rumble, but nobody saw Jey Uso walking out too. So that was like an added bonus. Jay Briscoe dying, that's horseshit. I won't say I was the biggest Briscoes fan. I do appreciate a very good tag team, and I've seen them wrestle in person. I still remember watching, I think it was 07 Ring of Honor on a pay-per-view. I don't know what pay-per-view it was. It was Zane, El Generico, and Kevin Steen. Now Kevin Owens against the Briscoes, and I think Ring of Honor is basically the first like either tag team ladder match or overall outside of Chicago. There, oh my God, that was just one of the craziest ladder matches I've ever seen. I mean, everybody's bloodied up, and they fucking took some hellacious bumps. And again, that's the worst part. It sounded like whoever crashed into them, he was bringing his, I think, either both or one of his daughters to the dance practice or whatever it was, and some twat waffle fucking came over the ridge, wrong lane, and head on. So lose somebody like that from somebody being a fucking idiot. Yeah, it's great that she got her comeuppance, but then you got somebody who's ingrained in that community. Not Sandy Hook, what is it?
Sandy
Somewhere in
Fork.
Delaware. I
Sandy
was going to
Fork.
say it's Sandy Fork. Have somebody ingrained in the community that people truly love, truly admire, not only as like, hey, we respect your talents. These people respected him more as like the dad and the person that was involved with everything of the kids, for the kids, doing the dance routine with his daughter and video. And it's just like, you lose people like that, and it sucks. And the honky tonk man still walks the earth. So I mean, there's no justice, not even Sid justice. So horse shit to hear about that. That's for fucking sure. And then Fedor, he had his last fight on Saturday night. I didn't know Bellator was still a thing. Scott Coker still putting out great matches. I mean, it was just such a fun card of who's this and they're still fighting. So seeing Fedor out there, I'm like, ugh. And still undefeated, Father Time. Because Fedor looked fucking horrendous. Absolutely got destroyed by Ryan Bader in under 2 minutes. I mean, it was just brutal. At least you got to see some old guys there. Chuck Liddell was out there. Randy Couture came out there. Rampage was out there. Who else? Boyce and Henzo Gracie were there. Mark Coleman. I mean, it was a who's who of MMA legends. So that I was marking out for that because, again, nostalgia. But he looked fucking brutal. And again, I still remember him fondly for, I don't think it was Bellator. I think it was some other fight that was put on in Russia. That it literally looked like it was a club. You'd have a club on the other side, and there's like a curtain or the just like a door where you had to know the password to get through. Sitting in the fucking front row of these like 50 to maybe 100 people, Vladimir Putin. And I'm like, this doesn't scream of like Fedor's gonna win by pretty much death. Because if he loses somehow, you'll see like the fucking KGB or somebody fucking roll through and shoot somebody or shank someone. It's like, this was the real stuff. Anytime Putin's around, it's like that's not going to be babies are being kissed and pictures are being taken. It's quite the opposite. So I think that's all I've got in my list of fun. I had the results of the YouTube Hall of Fame, but we've went over that pretty much ad nauseum. I'd say, Matt, what are your thoughts of that?
I am so out of the loop. I have no thoughts on it. I'm going to be honest with you.
I guess that's fair. Not a great answer, but a fair answer.
Sorry for the disappointment. You're all Hall of Famers in my book.
Appreciation.
Appreciate you, bro.
Such a generic line. So many people say it, but yet here we are. Still
Somebody
not there.
just win a Wawa coffee.
Coffee of the day. The old human stink line. Maybe I can play him in basketball. His shot looks pretty weak.
Yeah, that was some interesting drama. But yes, I don't care.
Who was it? Santiago and Seablez.
Yep.
It was going down.
It's probably scripted.
Just.
Oh, Santiago has all sorts of shit posted in those Instagram posts about this and that, and dogging his ass, but yet talking about how he has a business to run and he ain't got time for that shit.
Was that
But
what
I
he say when he
digress.
puts on his outfit for the morning? He ain't got time to shop for himself. That he's got to have Team Schmedium's maid clothes or what?
Ay.
Again,
Let's not go down that road.
I should just go to a thrift store around here and buy out all the freaking Detroit merch and then bring it to National and put it out on a table and just charge like $50 an article of clothing. They'll just buy it all. I'm spending money for the week.
like, hey man, we got some Robert Fick jerseys over here. With some Bobby Higginson fucking practice worn jerseys. Come on down.
Player worn.
Yeah,
Touted as player worn.
Get him on stick. Yeah,
I missed him at that show. He came to Detroit. He went to that tight end was signing on a Sunday. And we went there. We had to go early because he had a game. And I went there and I'm looking for him. He probably wasn't even up yet. And I'm waiting. I'm like, come on. I want to see him. Just to see him in the wild. Nope. Signer showed up. I was there for about a half hour. He must have did a private signing. But it would have been fun. I know.
maybe it's
Wrap
an
us
Ashton.
up, Dave. Wrap us up, Dave. Tie a bow. Come on.
So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for commenting. We always say makes our job easier here. Matt, thank you for coming on. At least somebody showed up. Again, out of new folks, I always try to get a few new people in. Just because, again, I like to introduce maybe people that aren't friends with each other. The community, our community here, doesn't really know. And then again, subject pertinent to your fandom, so get your thoughts on the old Eagles and their upcoming Super Bowl. Ed getting out of work, fortunately showing steak the other day, and not Gary, not the king of steak, but a steak. And then Brad coming on, and then I'm guessing that thing was taped because I didn't see any notification, and I looked on here and
Premieres the 9th at 6:00, Dave.
yeah, recorded it tomorrow. I don't have to take Brad away from us.
No, recorded tonight, but premieres.
Oh, I know, but they could have recorded tomorrow, and it still premieres Thursday.
Yes, but I'm sure it conflicted with somebody, so they had to move it up. But we still got Brad at least for a little bit.
So thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Ed, Matt, and not here, one of the newest Hall of Famers, Brad. Well, thank you, Eric. Very generous of you to take the time to hit that subscribe button. I if you are watching this in the archive, please hit the like button. Eric would appreciate that greatly. And we talked about a lot of shit. So actually got a lot of topics into one show. And some rants, some trademark rants, diatribe, gibberish, derelictual ramblings. You don't have to go to your corner and listen to the guy with the brown bag fucking talking to himself at 3:30 in the morning or 2:30 in the afternoon. You can just come on here and listen to some rambling. So for Brad, for Ed, for Matt, for Vinny, for Steve, I'm Dave. It's been the Instant Revolution podcast. Remember, collecting cards, wonderful hobby. Friendships you forge along the way, it's what really matters. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Go Birds!